Hi, this is Scott from Judlander Requisites. I have a Graflex 2.5 today that I'm giving a whole review for John, the owner. He sent this to me a long time ago, and I said I would originally said I would do just a free upgrade reinstall just for experience. And then I kept having to put him on the back burner for my paying customers. To be fair to them, and it just turned into this super long wait for him, and I felt real bad. So I wanted to make it something really special. In terms of again what I'm capable of doing, I don't have a machine shop or anything, so I'm just here trying to Dremel my way through everything. So anyways, here's let's get going. Let's start with, first of all, the whole thing about this is that it has a floating chassis inside connected to the clamp itself. So that lets you remove the bottom entirely and turn the top to whichever orientation you need it to be, since it's NeoPixel. And the push pins kind of account for the tolerance difference there. Since you're twisting the whole thing, it pushes it through, and it doesn't need to be threaded all the way up. It's a weird thing. I'll show you. Anyways, so this is the A New Hope configuration. Can start the pommel, I guess. This is one of KR's pretty old, couple of years old, end cap little coin things. I don't know if you can tell. I'm trying to get the crease to focus there. There we go. Which is kind of what the start of the fold of the actual pressed rolled edge of the original Graflexes. So it doesn't look too bad, and you can't really tell, especially if it's washed out like that. Trying to not have it be washed out, but if it is, you really can't see it. Anyways, so and this is one of WannaWanga's double rivet D-rings. There we go. And I got it as close to the orientation from the Elstree one, the one that there's photos of the pommel. It's really the only A New Hope pommel we have so far. So I just went with the information that was available. But that came out really nicely, I think. And that's actually double riveted on. Those aren't faux. Those are like really riveted through. So that's not going anywhere. Worst case scenario, it might bend up a little bit. I did bend it a tiny bit just by pulling on it to sound vent. You can see there. There's a couple holes on the inside underneath here. So it's pulled up just a tiny bit. The actual prop is... It has more of a crease on the top here going in, so it's like the on the belt it like rolled more, but this is a harder material, or a hard material, so it didn't quite do that. So it's fairly accurate, the D-ring. And I just went with Korbanth grips just because it's a 2.0 and it kind of works with them, size wise and everything. They kind of look pretty decent. But I did reshape them. I rounded them off and sanded them down, so these are nice and smooth. There's no like sharp edges on them. Oh, and then I did also get the WannaWanga double rivet there for the looks like it's it's in line with the D-ring, so it looks like it might be part of it, but who knows. So that's there. We have a Graflex shop clamp, just a normal one, with, I'm pretty sure this is just the stock Korbanth bubble strip, because it fit well with the, I'm using a, I think it's a Shtok, it's either Goth or Shtok, switch holder for these. I can show you right now. You know, the black one. So that's, I feel like it's designed kind of to work nicely with the Korbanth one. Anyways, so that is the clamp. Moving up, we have Graflex shop add-ons for most of the greeblies here. We have the entire switch section. I just took out the stock Korbanth one and kind of Jimmy rigged it in there, but that's not going anywhere, and it is up slightly. It is like kind of raised, like it is on a real Graflex. It's on top of the tube, but that won't get in the way and it won't go anywhere. You shouldn't like catch your finger on it. It's pretty comfortable, but it looks decent too. God, I'm trying to focus my camera, my phone. Okay, so yeah, Graflex shop thumbscrews, which are aged really nicely, along with the beer tab, which I weathered to match it, kind of aged it. So there's a tiny bit of the brass peeking through. It looks pretty accurate to the photos that we have of all of them. Graflex shop bunny ear replacement with the rivetless or you know, screw hole less, slotless, whatever it's called, hex screw boltless. That part for the bunny ears. Oh, and a same goes for Graflex shop brass greeblies there for the pins and the connector piece, which I added on. And then just a custom saber shop dark glass eye thumb screw for the front. I think this is also a Graflex shop slotted screw for the front here, with a custom saber shop also blade plug, just a 7/8 standard 7/8 one. But inside that I have one of those Shtok connectors with the onboard LEDs, so it lights up itself, which is cool. Okay, so let me show you how you first turn it on. Whenever you are doing this, since it is a floating chassis, everything's kind of independent. The three pieces aren't super tightly connected as much as it would be on a normal 2.0 at least. So what you want to do is just hold the other two, whichever you're taking off, just hold the other two. And you don't have to hold them tightly either. It'll just be gentle and it'll be nice. So there's the board with your Nerfworks Lab 15 amp battery, 18650 battery, and your recharge port. And here is the kill switch. So you turn that on. It's your boot noise with your LED indicator, power indicator. So let's go from A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back. I'm going chronologically movie-wise, just for my own convenience. So you just want to unscrew this bottom piece. Just, you know, you don't have to undo the clamp. That's one thing. You don't have to, the clamp, again, is kind of its own thing. So don't undo the clamp for screwing these. I didn't tighten it enough to need to do that. I didn't tighten this screw going through it. So the clamp itself isn't holding tight enough to need to undo it to go. That's on purpose. So let me grab, whoops, just the other bottom piece. You want to turn it counterclockwise until you hear a little click like that, and then you want to screw it. Just, you know, again, hold the other two pieces. It's a little bit rough in certain areas, but that's just the threading being a little bit old. And it'll get real tight about perfect orientation, about right where you want it for ESB, right in line with it. So that's where you want to stop for that, obviously, just in line with the cobalt when it gets kind of tight. And then you can also tell by the hole here being in the right position in the slot. Okay, so first we want to do the actual retention screw, blade retention screw, which is this one always. Big red knob. And then you want to do this one, just because this one is actually touching both the bottom of the pin holder, the plastic piece for the pins that come out, and the blade. It's like right where they meet, just because of this weird setup. So yeah, this one first, then this one. Just, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but just because this one's holding all the tension, that is why. Oh, if that's the case, then it should be the opposite, shouldn't it? Do this one first, because it doesn't really matter. Then you can do this one, because then it'll release the tension and it'll push it up, because you don't want this one to be holding all the tension. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, this one first, little, big. So you just want to unscrew that one. Here's your second red button, which is also a Graflex shop, just thumb screw, non-functional button. It's just the thumb screw. 1, 2. And also, oh, I'm sorry. So before you want to, messing this all up. Before you tighten either of these, you want to rotate this to the right position. So this is, since it's A New Hope is left, you want to undo it. So that would be clockwise from this perspective, but counterclockwise. Unscrew it, lefty loosey, just the 180 degrees, just about 180 degrees, not quite, but to be in line with these. That's how you tell. So there you go. Then you can do this one and do them pretty tight, because these are beefy. They designed them to be right up to the correct tolerance, I guess, for the touching the blade when it's tightly done. Okay, so there. ESB. Oh, I'm sorry. One last step. You just slide out the bubble strip. And here is the Slothfurnace Otis ESB card. that I modified to be able to work with the bubble strip version of the switch holders I was talking about. Because it's the bubble strip ones are a little bit higher up than the Empire Strikes Back, like the Graflex, or they're slightly different, or at least they used to be. So here's this one. You just slide it right in, and the pictures kind of differ. There's some YouTube video where the clamp card is oriented the other direction, but I just usually put the Slothfurnace side on the right side just for all the cards. I feel like that's the proper orientation. Anyways, so here is, let's wake it up if it went to sleep. Okay. Ooh, but that's on red. So let's tilt it until we find the blues. There we go. There was one. Where'd it go?
Spectrum. Spectrum.
Okay, so next, chronologically, right, would be Revenge of the Sith, Revenge of the Sith, 2005. So for that one, I'm going to just again unscrew the bottom here, switch back to the no rivets one because that's pretty close to the Ani one. Now when it gets tight, again right in line, but this time keep the orientation for this top half the same as it used to be, and just swap out the thumb screw for, this is John sent this with the original, with the 2.5 originally. This is one of Shameem's glass eye thumb screws from a little while ago, back in the day, I guess. And then you swap the card, oops, swap the card out for the Slothfurnace Anakin one, which just also should slide right in. And then voila, you have Anakins, right? Or pretty close. Graflex, real thick flex, Graflex wise. Okay. Relax. See, it's very touchy. I want to get the card to be in the right position. So I'm just tightening this, resetting the, not resetting, but pushing the blade plug down a little bit more to get better contact. Yep. Did I do it to the left? Is that how it's happy? Damn. That's embarrassing. Okay, so it's touchy, but I'll fix it. Take a file to it, fix it. So again, take the card off, take this off, because next, chronologically, we're back to rivets with Ray. So put that on there. It's in line with the thing. Kobold. And then get your thin tracers. And then you can switch the glass eye, or the gold eye, brass, gold eye, I guess, yeah, for Anakin, with the brass eye of Ray, which is, this is just another custom saber shop thumb screw that I just took with my Dremel. Got it down to see the brass. Okay, and then you're at Ray again. Oh, and this is a Crystal Focus 10 inside. I didn't mention, I don't think. So it has smooth swing and everything. And the speaker in here is one of the same model that Shameem used to sell as the SM ones, but I just got them off Amazon. I just have some left. Oh, but there's also not just the blade plug, but a full 34-inch KR pixel strip. What am I doing? Blade. Okay, so to get the blade plug out, it's the same deal as usual. You have to get the bunny ears to cooperate. Sorry, it's hard to do on camera, but just squeeze the bunny ears a little bit, because it's 7/8, so you don't have to take these notches off. So it just squeezes through. So here's the blade, same deal, but it's fine. Just tightening that retention screw. And there we go. Just waking it up from deep sleep, and then there we go. It's doing a fire effect right now. Hard to see on camera, but you can see in the there in my hand at least. It kind of helps. But it's a KR strip, so it's super dense pixels and it's really smooth. You can tell that well, there we go. You can kind of get the camera to work with me. It's just hard to explain. It's very smooth. That's all. Because of the density of the pixels. A little bit more to play with, a little more wiggle room. To make interesting blade profiles and stuff. I haven't done anything, this is just one of the stock ones. But yeah, there's kind of one of my babies. I've had it for probably 2 years now, so this is one of those builds where you get to spend more time thinking about it than actually working on it. So I was able to do a lot of ideas that I had been thinking about previously and make them actually work, which I will show you now. So, taking the retention screws out, just pull the blade, it comes out nicely, sorry about that. Okay, so here's kind of the special part that was the hardest for me to do, I guess. If you take the whole, tighten the screws again. I should put this back in, just because. The blade plug, just so that the pins aren't sitting there exposed. So yeah, with the bottom one undone, because that's like I said, it's touching the chassis a tiny bit. It's like halfway between the chassis and the blade plug, because they meet at the same place. So with that one undone, you can just unscrew the top, and again hold both of the other pieces so that they don't move too. But unscrew the top, and it'll give you a little trouble because again the threads are a little bit old, but that's just the aluminum oxide, so it should, it's not hurting or anything. Just keep going, and then you can lift it out, and oops, and you have the crystal chamber reveal, which is just a cutout of the Jedi crest, Starbird, whatever the Jedi one's technically called. But that's just, I cut it out of the just the 2.5 tube here, just because it seemed like it would be a good place for it. And I'll show you what I mean by the floating chassis part. Is now it's just the chassis with the switches inside of the clamp. And the way I did that was, there you can kind of see it. I had to use a Dremel again only to reshape the inside, cut the inside out of this just a steel washer, and then have a little notch going into the, it's hard to see. So what I'm trying to show you is it's behind the piece with the square, the black square that you see there. It's in between that piece and the clamp. That's what the connection between everything is. Just this washer in between here. So if I didn't say it before, this whole thing is kind of a shelf queen. I would not duel with this. It's not, this is a pretty one to look at and hold. Not to, you can swing it around if you want, but I wouldn't duel with this one in particular. So let me turn that on, wake it back up. And then inside here, I didn't even say, this is the crystal reveal, the crystal chamber. So there's 2 real quartzes in there that meet right at that little burst point of the lightsaber. So here it is. And I did it all freehand. I didn't use a stencil, so it came out a little better than I expected, to be honest. It's not perfect. It's kind of wabi-sabi, as they say, like not perfect, but done with care and love still. So it's in there. It's literally the heart of the saber is this crystal chamber with the cutout. You can see it from the back too, through everything. So it's like the power core, diatom, whatever they call it, diatom battery, with the 2 crystals, the power crystal and the focuser, touching right at that burst from the lightsaber in the crest. Anyways, trying to think if there's anything else. I guess that's it. Yeah, we'll get this shipped out as soon as possible. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.